What's up, guys? Let's talk about the digital nomads dilemma I found myself countless of times in, and very likely you too. Let's say you want to move to a new city. You want to live in a new city. This could be Bangkok, Thailand, with like amazing skyline views, perfect for getting stuff done, amazing food. Or you want to go to maybe Indonesia, Bali, and just see the nature and explore, like the things that Bali is known for. But you're there not just on vacation, right? You also need to work and be productive. And the thing is, I've been nomading for years and I exactly know that kind of feeling, You want to be there and explore, but you also need to get work done. And ever since I started talking more about my experience living and working in Southeast Asia, people have been like flooding my DMs and asking me questions like, how do I find a great apartment to live in? Where do I find like a perfect cafe to work from that has like power plugs and Wi-Fi, things that you need as a digital nomad. Where do I go in case of an emergency? Also very important, but hopefully we'll never need to. And like, how do I extend my visa? How can I actually stay in a place that I found out to be really liking? And all that kind of questions. But the truth of the matter is that you're likely wasting a bunch of time doing research online. There's hundreds of blog posts and YouTube videos that you can find about getting around a new city, but they're all not really catered to at least my needs that I have as a digital nomad. The resources are really scattered, they're not categorized. It's very hard for me to actually know what's actually accurate and up to date and what is like outdated, doesn't work anymore. And it's always like little things that just like where I wasted like bunch of time just scrolling through the internet and just finding things that are applicable to me. And I've been there. I know how much of a pain this is. And so I want to save you a bunch of time and headaches. And this is where NomadKit comes in, which is the name that I gave essentially my own high quality city guides for busy digital nomads. And the main focus on this is that it's actually made by me with my own insights, my own recommendations, things that I have found to be working, not things that you read online and might work or might not, things that I actually gone through and I actually know they work and help you just to focus more on, like when you go to a new city, like you want to socialize, you want to be productive, you don't want to think about all of these little administrative tasks. And that's where these guides essentially come in. The whole idea is like to make you feel at home, like in your dream city as fast as possible. The cities that will be covered will be the cities that I actually spend a considerable amount of time in myself and I know what I'm talking about. And I want to show you a little bit about what you will get. And essentially, it's everything you need to know, categorized so it's fast as possible to find your way around when you exactly need it. I'm gonna talk about like getting started, things like what are the pros and cons of actually living in that city, the easy things of like finding SIM cards and stuff, apps you need to download, but then going over like more in depth about how do I find great recommendations, what are good areas. I go in depth about like the co-workings and coffee shops I work from, including Wi-Fi passwords. You don't gotta ask around, places that actually have power plugs, all the way to like extending visas, how that whole thing works. Like, just trust me. Like, if you want to extend, for example, your 30-day visa in Bangkok, you can go to this like administrative office building and do all of this. But like finding your way around this building literally takes like a century if you don't know exactly where to go. You can make like so many little mistakes, and I made all these mistakes, and I've already written all of them down in a Notion doc. So it just makes sense to expose this in a much more readable way, in my opinion, and just help you out to get there faster. Um, that's it in a nutshell. Let me now show you quickly how one of the guides actually looks like. So this is the guide, for example, for Bangkok. And I just want to show you a little bit about, like, the in-depth, you can see a bit how the guide is structured. So for example, if you go to accommodation, you can find things about like living in Bangkok, like the best areas, and also like the holy grail of like finding condos. And here I just talk about, like, types of condos, about like staying there long term or short term, and like the nuances that you have to know. Especially regarding around like finding cool places you want to actually stay in and how you can do that. Sort of things to keep in mind, how you can live in these like super cool places that are really affordable. Or maybe also, let's dive into something I hope will never happen, but things that what happens if you're feeling sick. Like, I give you my best recommendations on like hospitals you can go to because I've actually been there, or I have friends that highly recommended me there. I spent some time, unfortunately, in, for example, Bumrungat Hospital here in Bangkok, and you can see I talk about the experiences, how much it cost me to be there, as well as give you like links in terms of like contacting them. You can just scan it with your phone. I just try to make this as accessible and easy for you to use, so you don't waste a bunch of time researching. And that's the main goal of this. Obviously, you can always research more, and I highly recommend doing this. But this should be, like your starting guide and just like figuring things out, and don't worry about it and focus more time on like actually working, socializing, and like enjoying the city. That's the guide. One last thing I want to talk about is you can also use the full text search here. So if you want to find stuff about the visa, for example, you can. But you can even go crazier and ask our AI and ask stuff, for example, like, what are some great gyms in Bangkok? And because there's an article written about it, the AI actually will help you bring up that content and help you to find these information even faster if you wanted to. So you can see this is all the content that comes actually from the documents that I have written. That's it in a nutshell. If you're curious to learn more, head over to nomadkit.co and check it out. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, feel free to just ask me questions about the cities that I'm writing about, because I'm more than happy to actually get you there faster and just feel actually productive and home in the cities that you want to explore as a digital nomad. All right, peace out.